Namaste and welcome to Hindi with Bindu Udayan, where you will be getting English explanation to all your Hindi lessons. Today, we will learn the first lesson of class 8, Dhvani, written by Surikant Tripathi Nirala. Dhvani, listen to your inner voice.
Here is the first lesson of class 8 from Vasant Bhag 3, Dhvani, written by Surikant Tripathi Nirala. Surikant Tripathi Nirala, a poet, novelist, essayist, and pioneer of Chayavad, a section of modern poetry where a poet uses examples from nature to express himself. And Nirala was one of the four main pillars of Chayavad. Let's know more about this poet and his literary work. निराला का जीवन संघर्षपूर्ण था. His life was a long sequence of misfortunes and tragedies. वे यथार्थ का चित्रण करते थे. He picturized reality in his write-ups. He wrote strongly against the injustice and exploitation in the society. उन्होंने कविता को छंद मुक्त किया. Now, according to him, like humans long for freedom, poetry also wants to be free. The poem seeks to break away the rules of verses, and he was the person who started a trend called Chand Mukt Kavya, a poetry free of verses. उनका आरंभिक काव्य जीवन बाधाओं से भरा था, and since he was more or less a rebel both in form and content, acceptance did not come easily. Like his pen name Nirala, which means unique, his craft was also unique. बाद में वे प्रमुख छायावादी कवि के रूप में प्रसिद्ध हुए. But later on, he went on to become the leading figure of the era of Mukt Chand poetry in Hindi. Dhvani, which means sound or voice. In this poem, Dhvani, poet has put his inner voice into words. उन्होंने अपनी अंतर आत्मा की ध्वनि को मुखरित किया है. कवि जीवन के प्रति एक आशावादी दृष्टिकोण अपनाते हैं. The poet has an optimistic and positive outlook towards life. वे अपने जीवन को खुलकर जीना चाहते हैं और अपने सपने साकार करना चाहते हैं. He wants to live his life to the fullest and to fulfill his dreams and aspirations. वे एक सामाजिक प्रतिबद्धता से युक्त कवि बनना चाहते हैं, and he wants to be a socially committed poet. Being a Chayavadi Kavi, Surikant Tripathi Nirala uses examples from nature to express his feelings and emotions. In this poem Dhvani, he is giving the example of Vasant, spring, the most beautiful season. Just as the spring that arrives after autumn and transforms the entire nature and fills it with life and beauty, similarly, the poet believes that spring has arrived his life and now all his hardships will go and it will be transformed into achievements. Let's read this poem. Dhvani. अभी न होगा मेरा अंत, अभी अभी ही तो आया है मेरे वन में मृदुल वसंत. अभी न होगा मेरा अंत. हरे हरे ये पात, डालियां कलियां कोमल गात. मैं ही अपना स्वप्न मृदुल कर फेरूंगा निद्रित कलियों पर. जगा एक प्रत्यूष मनोहर. पुष्प पुष्प से तंद्रालस लालसा खींच लूंगा मैं. अपने नव जीवन का अमृत सहर्ष सींच दूंगा मैं. द्वार दिखा दूंगा फिर उनको, है मेरे वे जहां अनंत. अभी न होगा मेरा अंत. अभी न होगा मेरा अंत. The poet says that this is not my end. मेरे जीवन का अंत अभी नहीं हो सकता. अभी अभी ही तो आया है मेरे वन में मृदुल वसंत. कवि कहता है मेरे जीवन में नई आशा नई चेतना का संचार हुआ है. Just now a new time has arrived my life. A new energy has arrived my life. The spring has arrived my life. I have to do a lot. अभी न होगा मेरा अंत. So this is just the beginning and this is not my end. This shows his positive outlook towards life. हरे हरे ये पात डालियां कलियां कोमल गात. Here the poet compares his body to different aspects of nature. When he says that spring has arrived his life, he says that hare hare ye paat, the leaves are green, daliyan, kaliyan, the branches, the buds, all are new. Komal gat, and similar is my body, young, tender, full of energy. Gat means body, means he is capable of doing a lot more. He is young, he has a lot of enthusiasm and energy. मैं ही अपना स्वप्न मृदुल कर फेरूंगा निद्रित कलियों पर. मैं ही means I with my dream filled hands. स्वप्न मृदुल कर, स्वप्न रूपी हाथ. स्वप्न is dream, mridul is soft or sweet, kar is hands. So here the poet says that my hands are filled with soft and sweet dreams. And with these hands, I will give a loving touch. Pherunga, pherna is to give an affectionate touch. Pherunga, nidrit kaliyon par. He will touch the sleeping buds. Nidrit, sleeping, kaliyon, buds. Here, the nidrit kaliyan are the young generation. The youth, the poet believes that they are sleeping, the buds are sleeping, which means they are not aware of their duties and responsibilities. He says that I have to wake them up. I will touch them with my dream filled hands and I will wake them up. I will make them aware of their duties and responsibilities. Jaga ek pratyush manohar, and then I will wake them up into a beautiful morning. Pratyush manohar, pratyush is morning, manohar beautiful, and I will wake them up into a beautiful morning. They will they will unleash their potential and move ahead. पुष्प पुष्प से तंद्रालस लालसा खींच लूंगा मैं. Here further he says that after touching the sleeping buds and waking them up into a new morning, a beautiful morning, they will bloom, they will become flowers. He's talking about the young generation. Now after waking up, the pushp, that is each and every young man, उनमें से तंद्रालस लालसा खींच लूंगा मैं. Tandralas is the word made with tandra and alas. Tandra is your sleepy mood and alas is your laziness. He wants to pull out, he wants to take away all your laziness. Lalsa is the greed. He feels that the young generation is full of laziness. The young generation is full of greed, selfishness. Now he wants to make them selfless. He wants to make them think for others. So he wants to take out these two things. What are they? The sleepy mood, their greed, and their laziness out of them. अपने नव जीवन का अमृत सहर्ष सींच दूंगा मैं. And then with my new life, with the amrit is the nectar, with the nectar of my new life, with my new poetic life, with my poems, saharsh sinch dunga main. Happily, with pleasure, I'm going to nourish them. Sinchna, pani dena hota hai. Sinchna is to nourish, to water. Now he wants to nourish, he wants to fill in his positive thoughts into the young generation after waking them up from their sleep. द्वार दिखा दूंगा फिर उनको है मेरे वे जहां अनंत. Then I will show them the door, I will show them the way, I will lead them, I will guide them and show them the right path. है मेरे वे जहां अनंत, where I can see so many of them just like me, who think like me, who are ready to act like me. अभी न होगा मेरा अंत, and I have to fulfill all these dreams now. So this is not my end. So that was Dhvani, जहां कवि अपनी कविताओं द्वारा युवा पीढ़ी का मार्गदर्शन करना चाहते हैं. The poet wants to guide the young generation, enlighten them, purify their thoughts and deeds with his poems and make them aware of their duties and responsibilities. He wants to make them a responsible citizen. वे जागृत युवा पीढ़ी के हाथों एक सुदृढ़ समाज और राष्ट्र का निर्माण करना चाहते हैं. He dreams of a better society and nation with a very strong foundation which has to be laid by the youth of the nation. और जब तक उनका ये सपना पूरा नहीं हो जाता वे हार नहीं मानेंगे. And he will not give up until he achieves this goal. So this is what we learn from the poem. जीवन में चाहे जो भी बाधाएं आएं उनका सामना करना चाहिए, कभी हार नहीं माननी चाहिए और अपने लक्ष्य की ओर निरंतर बढ़ते रहना चाहिए. Face the challenges, never give up and move ahead continuously towards your goal. Here are a few questions for your revision. कविता में किस ऋतु का उल्लेख किया गया है? Which season has been described here in this poem? कवि अपने स्वप्न रूपी हाथ किन पर फेरना चाहता है? Whom does the poet want to wake up with his dream-filled hands? पुष्प पुष्प से कवि क्या खींच लेना चाहता है? What does the poet want to pull out or take away from each flower? कवि पुष्पों को किस से सींचना चाहता है? With what does the poet want to nourish the flowers? So that was Dhvani by Surikant Tripathi Nirala. Listen to your inner voice. Thank you and see you again in the next video with a new lesson.